Have you ever wondered why countries behave the way they do on the global stage? Imagine the world as a vast chessboard, where each move by a country is carefully calculated to maximize its advantage. This strategic game is the essence of international relations, a field that examines how countries interact, cooperate, and sometimes clash. Delving into this study uncovers the theoretical lenses through which scholars view these global dynamics, each offering unique insights into the complexities of world politics. To get a clearer picture, let's dive into the first of these frameworks: realism. Imagine a world where trust is scarce and survival is the top priority. This is the essence of realism, a theory in international relations that views the global arena as a stage of perpetual conflict and competition. At its heart, realism posits that the international system is inherently anarchic, as there is no overarching authority to enforce rules or mediate disputes effectively. In this world, nations are like players in a relentless game, each striving to ensure their survival and maximize their power. Realists argue that military might and state security are paramount, often leading countries to prioritize armament and alliances that can protect their interests. They see international relations through a lens of skepticism, where cooperation is rare and often prompted by sheer necessity rather than genuine goodwill. Realism teaches us that in international politics, gains and losses are closely intertwined. What one state gains, another might lose. This perspective frames global interactions as a zero-sum game, highlighting a grim but compelling view of world affairs. With its focus on power and security, realism paints a stark picture of international relations. But is there a more optimistic view? Enter liberalism. Now imagine a world where countries thrive by working together. This is the core premise of liberalism in international relations. Unlike realism, which views the global arena as a battleground for power, liberalism paints a more optimistic picture. It suggests that nations can achieve more through cooperation than they can through conflict. Liberals argue that the fabric of international politics can be strengthened with threads of trade, treaties, and transnational cooperation. They believe in the power of international organizations like the United Nations to mediate conflicts and foster peace. According to liberal thought, when countries engage in trade, they create economic interdependencies that make conflicts less attractive, promoting a stable and peaceful international environment. Furthermore, liberals emphasize the role of international law in establishing norms and behaviors that all nations should follow, which helps in reducing misunderstandings and conflicts. This framework not only promotes peace, but also facilitates progress and development through collective effort and mutual benefits. Liberalism offers a hopeful view of international relations through cooperation. However, there's another theory that focuses on the power of ideas: Constructivism. What if the reality of international politics is shaped not just by material power, but by ideas and identities? Welcome to the world of Constructivism, a fascinating lens through which we can view global interactions. Constructivism presents a unique perspective, suggesting that the foundations of international relations are not just built on physical might or economic clout, but are intricately woven with the threads of cultural norms, shared beliefs, and collective identities. It posits that these intangible elements are what truly shape the behaviors of nations and define the architecture of global affairs. Consider how national identities influence diplomatic actions, or how prevailing global norms can push states toward cooperation or conflict. Constructivists argue that understanding these elements is crucial for grasping why states act as they do, beyond mere survival or power gains. Through this lens, international agreements, conflicts, and policies are seen not just as strategic moves on a chessboard, but as reflections of evolving ideas and identities that resonate across borders. As we see, constructivism shifts our focus from mere power dynamics to the roles of culture, identity, and ideas. Now let's wrap everything up. We've explored 3 powerful lenses through which to view global politics. Let's take a moment to reflect on how realism, liberalism, and constructivism shape our understanding of the international arena. Starting with realism, it teaches us that the world stage is like a grand chessboard where nations prioritize their own security and power above all else. This perspective is crucial when we look at international conflicts, where countries often act out of fear or the need to assert dominance. Then there's liberalism, which offers a more hopeful view. emphasizing cooperation and the potential for collective progress through institutions and global governance. This theory helps us understand the mechanisms behind international agreements and trade negotiations, suggesting that, despite our differences, alignment and mutual benefits are possible. Constructivism, on the other hand, brings the human factor into the equation. It argues that the identities and cultural narratives of nations influence their actions and policies. This lens is particularly useful in diplomatic relations, where understanding the why behind a nation's stance can lead to more effective dialogue and resolution. Each of these theories provides a unique toolkit for dissecting global issues. Whether it's a tense standoff between superpowers, a multi-nation trade deal, or a diplomatic outreach effort, these theories help us decode the underlying motivations and possible outcomes. As you follow current events, consider which theory best explains the actions and reactions on the global stage. Are leaders acting out of fear, mutual interest, or cultural values? By understanding these theories, we equip ourselves to better interpret the complexities of international relations today. Keep questioning, keep analyzing, and most importantly, keep learning.